Hey, what's going on? What's going on Facebook? Coach G coming to you live from beautiful Mission Valley, San Diego. And finally, look at the sky, look at the weather, look how beautiful it is. Finally got some San Diego weather. It's been a while, Hey, I wanted to bring you something today. First of all, man, what a week and a half I've had. Man, I went to 2 weekends though, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I was down in Escondido area at the Think and Grow Rich Tour conference for 2 days, Thursday and Friday. Unbelievable. That conference is all about the Think and Grow Rich, the book. You know, everybody pretty much that are entrepreneurs knows about Think and Grow Rich. They've probably read it 2, 3, 4, 5 to 100 times, depending on the person. And that's the book that changed their life and made a difference in them. And they actually made a movie out of Think and Grow Rich, The Legacy, the movie. And John Shin is the executive producer. And that Evelyn's my wife and I, we know him. And we actually got to go to the premiere. And then we got to go to this conference a couple weekends ago. Then this past weekend, I was in Vegas, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Thrive Make Your Money Matter conference, which was another incredible event that I went to this past week. I was actually there last year, and the event changed my life. Thrive, Make Your Money Matter. Basically what that is that all the entrepreneurs out there, people that are making the millions, the billions, they give back, and that's what they do, make their money matter. So the money they make, yeah, people buy the cars, the houses, the trips, all the things, the planes, but that's not what it's about. It's about giving back a portion of your money. You should always give to charity. You always should give to your faith, your church, or whatever it is, and give back, help people out, reach down, pick somebody up that needs help. And it's not always about money. You can give your time, you can volunteer, you can do all these other different things. And that's what Thrive, Make Your Money Matter is all about. An incredible conference, and I'm definitely going to go again next year. But those are just some things that I went to in the last couple of weeks. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about timeline on your goals and dreams. You know, I'm working hard. I have a goal and a dream to be one of the top motivational, one of the top transformational speakers in the country. And I'm sitting there saying, man, it's taking too long. I'm not getting on the stages. I'm not speaking where I want to speak. I'm speaking, but it's on small areas, small stages, you know, high schools and different things, which is a goal of mine to speak in high schools, but it's not happening fast enough. And then I got to slap myself and say, wait a minute, coach. Think about the other dreams and goals you had in the past in your life. Did they happen overnight? No, they didn't. So what this video is about, I'm going to take you back to some of the things that I accomplished and that I had dreams and goals of accomplishing. And I'm not telling this to you to impress you. I'm telling this to impress upon you what is possible. And don't rush the process. The process is where the growth is. The process is the goals, the dream. That is the success, is the process to get there. So I'll give you an example. When I was a little boy growing up, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 on up, I loved Kung Fu Theater. And some of you older people can remember this. There was a TV program on called Kung Fu Theater, and it showed all the Kung Fu movies. It had Chuck Norris in there. It had, of course, Bruce Lee, and then all the crazy Chinese crazy movies where the guys were flying through the air and all the different things. And as a little boy, I always dreamed of being Chuck Norris or Bruce Lee or one of those guys. And you know what? I put it off. And I was like, no, my parents probably wouldn't let me do it. You know, and in junior high school, I got beat up. I got in high school, I got beat up in high school. So I wasn't a great fighter or anything like that. But in my mind, I always wanted to be a black belt in martial arts. And so I put it off. And when I got older and got out on my own, then I had a family and kids and a wife. I got to thinking, well, I can't afford it. I went to a couple of classes, but then they told me how much it was, and I said I can't afford it. So I decided to get out of that. And but it was still in the back of my mind. And the craziest thing happened when I was 35 years old. This guy knocks on my door, and his name is Mike Sarkeesian. And his brother is Smokin' Joe Sarkeesian, professional kickboxing champion, okay, at the time. And so he knocks on my door in my house in Moreno Valley. And he opens the door and says, hey, is your wife Evelyn? I said, yeah. I said, I found her card that she sews. She does embroidery and sewing and things like that. I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I'm a kickboxer, and have a fight coming up. And I was wondering if she could sew my shorts because they're too big, and I want to see if I can get them hemmed up. And I was, oh, cool. So I started talking to him. But the crazy thing about this, I would say a few weeks earlier, my oldest son, Gary, came to me and said, hey, Dad, I know you're in martial arts and different things like that. Let's back up. Let's back up. Because I'm getting way, way ahead of myself here. Because I'm going to almost spill the beans on something. So let's back up, because when I was 35, we moved to Moreno Valley into our new house. Right down the street was a Taekwondo studio. So I said, my son was about 10 or 11, around that age. So I said, hey, do you want to sign up for Taekwondo? So I took him down there, not thinking of me, right? Thinking of my son. Hey, I want to get my son in martial arts because I don't want to be bullied and things like that. So I took him down there and I signed him up. And we walk into the studio, and the owner of the studio comes up to me and says, hey, you know, we have a family plan. You can sign up you and your wife. And you know what I did? I signed up me, my wife, and my son. And my dream to become a martial artist, a black belt, was coming true. 2 years later, I worked my ass off. 2 straight years, I worked nonstop. I'd go to the studio 3-4 times a week. I'd go home. Hours and hours. I'd practice and practice. I became a black belt in 2 years after signing up. My wife became a black belt a little while later, and my son became a black belt. So we had a family of 3 black belts going to that studio. Now, not on top of that, I went to many, many local, regional, and national championships, and I have hundreds of medals from these tournaments. And I always wanted to be the champion. I would go to these tournaments, and there was this guy. His name was Eric, and he was in my school. And it was always me and Eric. Eric would take first, I would take second. Eric take first, I would take second. I could not beat this guy. But what do they say? Iron sharpens iron. My last national championship, when I think I was 38 or 39. My last national championship in Alabama. I had a goal and a dream to beat this guy. I said, I'm going to beat my buddy. I'm going to finally beat him. I worked my ass off. I did this move over and over and over. I don't know if you guys know who Conor McGregor is, but when he beat Jose Aldo, they have video of him doing the same exact punch, the step back, left hook, boom, knockout punch in the locker room before the fight. And because he visualized it, step back, boom, he's going to come in, step back, boom, knockout. And that's the exact move that he did when he knocked out Jose Aldo to win the championship. So here I am. I'm doing my number one move, which is a spinning hook kick, spinning side kick. So I keep practicing and I'm practicing. And I have weights on my ankles, weights. So the speed is there. And just a whipping fashion. So here I am. We are tied up. The time is running out on the clock. And we're on a mat, right? It's not in a ring. It's in a mat. And I was standing on the corner of the mat. And if you step off the mat, you lose a point. And we were tied. I would have lost the mat. So I'm standing on the corner, ready for him to come in, because I know his move. His move is a straight inside kick. That is his best move. He'll knock the shit out of you with that thing. So he'll step in. He's going to hit me right here and win the tournament. So as soon as I see him coming in, I did my spin, hook, caught him in the head, won the national championship because I visualized that kick over and over again, and I had no place else to go. I was on the corner of the mat, no place to run, no place to hide. So it was either do or die, and I won my national championship. This all goes back to it being a little kid. I had a goal to be a martial artist, a black belt in some kind of martial arts. I didn't think it was going to be Taekwondo, but it was almost a 35-year in the making. Okay, and people are impatient about their goals and their dreams because it's not happening today. I don't see it. It's not happening. I'm going to give up. I'm going to quit. But you got to understand, keep the dream there. Keep the goal there and keep going. Keep going. Don't quit. Don't give up. Okay, now let's get back to the guy that knocked on my door. So this guy knocks on my door and he asks for my wife to sew up his clothes. And my son a couple weeks earlier says, Dad, did you ever, now that you're a black belt and you've won nationals and things like that, have you ever thought about getting in a real fight, like in a ring, in a boxing match? I said, I don't know. I would like to because, in Taekwondo, it's always light sparring and really don't try to hurt each other. So I never knew if I could protect my wife and my kids if I got in a fight in the street. So I talked to this guy and he says he's a promoter for a kickboxing promotion. I was like, and he said, I can make it happen. He said, you want to fight? I was like blown away. So I said, okay. So I took the guy up on his offer. Not only was the promoter, like I said, his brother was Smoking Joe Karizian, one of the professional kickboxers. So he trained me. He decided he wanted to train me. So he trained me for my first fight. And at age, I think I was 40 or 41 around there. Might have been a bit older, but I was around that age. Nope, I was older. I think I was in my mid 40s. My first amateur kickboxing match, which was at Pachanga. I think it was at Pachanga Casino. So I get in there and I fight this guy that's 6'1". Okay, 6'1". And at the time I weighed 205 and the fight was at 185. So I had to lose like 25, 30 pounds to get down to make that fight. So I worked my ass off, running, kicking, punching, sparring. I mean, I would put everything in it because that's the thing. You have a goal and a dream and a vision. You got to keep going. Trust me, there was times when I was getting punched and training and push-ups and running. Man, I wanted to quit. But the thing is, I had a goal. I had to fight this guy. And all I could see was winning, beating this guy. So I get in there. You know what? I had the best time of my life in there. I won my first belt. I got in there because it's promotion. When you win, you get a belt. And I got in there, beat this guy my first time. And I was like, man, I wasn't even tired or anything. I had like 40 people in the crowd and cheering on me. So I was super excited. You know what? So I said, okay. He offered for me to do it again. But this time it was funny. I moved down to San Diego, so I couldn't be with this guy. But he wanted to fight. He set up another fight for me. So I trained in San Diego, and we went to the fight. I didn't know who I was fighting because the guy that was originally supposed to fight dropped out of the fight. He dropped out of the fight. So it was a mystery fighter. And you know who it was? The guy that cornered me and trained me, the promoter, his buddy that also helped train me was the guy I was fighting. So now the guys that were training me are the guys that I'm fighting against in this next fight. So I was pissed, man. I was steaming. I was so mad. I was like, this effing dude. I mean, so they wanted to beat me, man. So what I did, I went out there, man. First thing I did, I came out with a crescent kick over the guy's head and a spinning hook kick. And the guy knew what was coming, so he ducked out of the way. That was a brutal fight, man. That fight with all the rounds. I ended up winning my second belt and won that fight, which was crazy because I almost died in that fight. I was like, it was funny because my son was one of my cornermen and they're over there talking to him and the trainer talking. And I'm like, get this freaking thing off of me. You know, I was like in this corner exhausted. And then the third fight I had, these guys were so mad at me because they thought they got robbed. They thought that they should have won the fight, that they got this 27-year-old kid. Now, mind you, I was 47 at the time. They got this 27-year-old kid to fight me. And my next fight was against this 27-year-old kid. And those two guys, the one that trained me and the one that fought me the second time, were the cornermen for this 27-year-old kid. So I get in there, and of course, stupid me, I psych myself out because here's this young kid. I'm 47, he's 27, and I know I could beat this kid any day of the week. And I ended up psyching myself up and ended up losing. I get near the end of the fight, and I was this close, guys, this close to quitting. I'm not joking. I mean, there might have been 30, 40 seconds left on the clock. And I almost went, doop, doop, timeout, I'm done. But I had, probably 60 people in the stands, family members, friends. And I told myself, there's no way I could quit. I'm not going to quit. And so I worked it out and I got the respect. The thing is, I didn't quit. So it was a success. I was supposed to lose. This guy was 20 years younger than me. If I won, people would have been like, whoa, right? But if I lose, people are like, oh, 27, he's 20 years older than the guy. So of course he should lose, right? He's younger, he was taller, better shape, all this stuff. So it was a success just to be in that fight. And what I learned from it is that I could take a punch because the first two fights I fought, I really didn't take a lot of damage. I didn't take a lot of hits. But this fight, I took a lot of damage. I broke my foot, messed up my nose. My face was all scratched up, bruised up. And I learned I could take a punch and keep going forward. For that one, what was my goal? To find out if I can actually fight and protect my family, right? And I found out that I could. So that was the goal. Even though I lost that fight, I turned it into a positive that, hey, I didn't quit. 1, 2, I learned that I could take a beating and keep on going. Just like Rocky says, right? He says, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. That's the key to it. It's not whether you get hit or get knocked down or whatever, how tough you are. It's how much you can take and keep moving forward to your goals and your dreams. So don't ever give up on them. And a couple more, guys. Look, you're going to sit there and say, I have this goal, I have this dream, but it can't come true. It's not going to happen, or it's taking too long. It's been a week. It's been a month. Give me a freaking break, man. I'm telling you, these goals I had were years in the making. Years, were months, half years, on and on and on. You cannot put a time limit on it. You have to keep moving forward. Just like it said, keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, another one in business. In business, I had when I first started in my company, the first day in the interview, they were asked, what do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, your job. I was an assistant manager within 2 years, running the bar at age 20, and I wasn't even old enough to drink yet. They had me running the bar at age 20, and I wasn't even old enough to drink yet. So that's one thing. Then when I was like, I want to be a director in the company. I had to move across the country, become a director, and struggled with that. It was hard, but I did it. It was a goal of mine to become a director. When I went to this branch, the branch was in the tank. I wanted to have a goal to make it the number one in the company. And I turned it around within 2 or 3 years. I was at the top. I came back to California to follow my kids because my kids were more important than my career. So I took a demotion. Then I got another job, was moving up the ladder. Palm Springs, director of operation position opened up in Palm Springs. I applied for that position 4 times, got denied 3 in a row. 3 in a row got denied. Did I quit? No. I could have quit after the first one, said, you know what, they don't want me. I'll never be a director. I'll never be any good. I tried 4 times, man, 4 times, and I got it on the 4th time. And you know what? When I went there, the place was in the tank. And within a year, turned the place around, started bonusing. Within 2 years, I was at the top of the company. In my 3rd and 4th year, I was at the top of the company in almost every financial category down the road. 2 years into that, I had another goal to be the director of the San Diego airport. I knew that the guy had to leave because they just lost 70% of the contract. And I knew his salary could not sustain the salary there that the company would eventually move him. So 2 years, I kept telling him, Joe, when you leave in San Diego, I want it. When you leave in San Diego, I'm taking it. When you leave in San Diego. You know that I got San Diego after 2 years of trying. 2 years, guys. So don't put a time frame on your goals and your dreams. Keep stepping forward. Keep moving forward. 2 years I had that dream to be in San Diego. You know what? I wasn't even the first choice. I wasn't even the first choice of my boss. He picked some guy in El Paso, Texas. And you know, the guy in El Paso, Texas didn't take it because he said it was too expensive in San Diego. So I got the position. I was the number 2 pick. And you know, the guy from El Paso got fired from the company a year ago. He's no longer in the company. You know what I did in San Diego? Craziest thing. Week 1, we're walking the branch, all the corporate people. And they say, this place is in such bad shape. We effed up on the contract. We think we're thinking about walking away from the contract. This is my first week on the job. I just moved there. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just moved here. How you go? What do you mean? So you know what I did? I took the challenge. We bonused the first year. The next year, we were at the top of the company. Year 3, we were the number 1 cash flow branch in the entire company. 500% cash flow through. And you're a superstar when you get like 95, 100% flow through. I was 500% cash flow for the company. Number 1 in the entire company at a branch that they were trying to walk away from because it said it was impossible. It would not make money. It's all because the goals and the dreams, I didn't give up. I could have had the same mind frame as those guys and said, yep, you're right. This branch isn't going to make any money. I made a mistake. Why did I come here, right? And if I would have done that, it probably would have happened. We probably would have sucked. I probably would have lost my job. And I probably wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys today because all those things led up to where I am today, which is talking to you, wanting to be one of the top motivational, transformational speakers in the world because that is a goal and a dream of mine. And I don't care if it takes 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, it's going to happen because I look back at my life and sit there and say, Gerald, Coach G, what is going on? Why are you like panicking that shit ain't happening fast enough for you in this speaking thing? When I just gave so many examples of things that took months, years, several years. My first goal when I started was I was 5, 6 years old and I wanted to be a martial artist and I didn't do that until I was 35. So that's 30 years. And if I would have quit, I would have never been a national Taekwondo champion. I would have never been an amateur kickboxing champion. And I would never have been the top of my company, and I would not be standing here today talking to you. And smaller goals, writing a book. And this is the craziest thing, because you know how hard it is to write a book? It's freaking hard. And most people quit. That's why most people don't write books, because it is hard. And you know, here I was stupid. I think it took me 3-4 months, maybe 5. But that whole time I was like, I wanted to quit. And I was like, it's taking too long. I was being picky, right? And my coach told me, done is better than perfect. Okay, done is better than perfect. And so I'm sitting there going, okay, so think about it. Have a goal, have a dream. But what I always say, you have to take those goals and dreams and put in the action. If you don't put in the action, you might as well go back to bed and go to sleep, because it's just a dream. So I know I said a lot today. Let me say hi to some people that came on. What's up, Brian? Good old friend of mine from high school. How you doing, buddy? I appreciate you always watching. I hope this helps you, motivate you, my friend. I know the circumstance that you're in, but you keep moving forward, buddy. It's not how you get knocked down. It's how you get back up and keep moving forward, buddy. Keep moving forward. What's up, Koala Man? My buddy there. He's another special ed student like me. Motivated. This kid is doing great things. He's going out there making things happen. Koala Recycling, man, help this kid out. He's out there foot in the street, feet on the street, you know, collecting cans, collecting bottles, helping people out. He's doing his thing. And of course, my beautiful wife, Evelyn's on there. She always watches and supports. Without her, I would not be where I'm at today, because she's the one that is my coach, really, and kicks me in the ass all the time. And of course, there's my coach, Stephen Dela Cruz, is in the house. Stigula Success Mastery, the man right there. And he's the one that pushes me all the time. And there's my cousin there, Judy. How are you doing? Good seeing you on the line. And there's Mr. Awesome, Eric Swanson. That's right, buddy. This guy is incredible speaker, credible motivator. And I'm telling you, I have a goal to someday to be on his stage. And again, he says it's a 2-year freaking waiting list. And I could have been like, oh, fuck it. I'm not going to, oops, sorry. I don't usually cuss. I could have said, oh, screw it. I'm not going to do it. And I quit. Nope. I'm going to be on his stage someday. And it's definitely going to happen. So thank you guys for watching. And I'm telling you, like Rocky said, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit. And keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So get up, keep moving forward. Les Brown says, if you get knocked down, land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And I've been knocked down literally in life and literally in the ring. So get your ass up and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So I hope that helped you guys. Hashtag live, hashtag repeat. Forward it on to somebody that needs to hear this. I know they're out there. They need to hear it, man. I'm telling you, get this in the hands of somebody that needs to hear it. Don't put a timeline on your goals and dreams. If you do that, you will never accomplish them. It could be a 20-year time frame on that dream and that goal. But if you quit, you'll never know. You'll never know. Again, my goal is to be one of the top motivational, transformational speakers out there. And if it takes me 20 years, by damn, fine. It takes me 20 years. But that goal is out there. I'm setting it, and it will happen. So, guys, take care. This is Coach G. I'm coming to you live from beautiful, finally, look at the beautiful weather in San Diego. Poolside, everything. Man, finally. It's been gloom and doom, man, out here. But it's all in the mindset, baby. That's right. So it's been sunny every day to me. So get out there, do your thing. Don't quit. That's the takeaway from this. Don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. Keep going. One foot in front of the other. That mountain is high. You can't see the peak. You can't see the top. But you know what you can see? The next step. That's all it takes. The next step. The next step. And keep going. And you can always see the next step. So, peace out.